This is an RNIB talking book.
The Virginians by William Makepeace Thackeray. The Virginians, Chapter 1, in which one of the Virginians visits home. On the library wall of one of the most famous writers of America, there hang two crossed swords, which his relatives wore in the Great War of Independence. The one sword was gallantly drawn in the service of the king. The other was the weapon of a brave and honoured Republican soldier. The possessor of the harmless trophy has earned for himself a name alike honoured in his ancestors' country and his own, where genius such as his has always a peaceful welcome. The ensuing history reminds me of yonder swords in the historian's study at Boston. In the Revolutionary War, the subjects of this story, natives of America and children of the Old Dominion, found themselves engaged on different sides in the quarrel, coming together peaceably at its conclusion, as brethren should, their love never having materially diminished, however angrily the contest divided them. The colonel in scarlet and the general in blue and buff hang side by side in the wainscoted parlour of the Warringtons in England, where a descendant of one of the brothers has shown their portraits to me, with many of the letters which they wrote and the books and papers which belong to them. In the Warrington family, and to distinguish them from other personages of that respectable race, these effigies have always gone by the name of the Virginians, by which name their memoirs are christened. They both of them passed much time in Europe. They lived just on the verge of that old world from which we are drifting away so swiftly. They were familiar with many varieties of men and fortune. Their lot brought them into contact with personages of whom we read only in books, who seem alive, as I read in the Virginians' letters regarding them, whose voices I almost fancy I hear, as I read the yellow pages written scores of years since, blotted with the boyish tears of disappointed passion, dutifully dispatched after famous balls and ceremonies of the grand old world, scribbled by campfires or out of prison. Nay, there is one that has a bullet through it, and of which a greater portion of the text is blotted out with the blood of the bearer. These letters had probably never been preserved, but for the affectionate thrift of one person, to whom they never failed in their dutiful correspondence.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?